Hi, I'm Joy. In the last 6 months, I've been seeing social media posts from my friends trashing the upcoming mandate in California that will require all new cars and light trucks sold to be either zero-emission vehicles or plug-in hybrids by the year 2035. The most common posts I've seen circulating around question how California will handle 35 million cars charging at the same time when we are currently asked to restrict and reduce electricity use during heat waves. As someone who has been driving an electric vehicle for the last 4 years, I wanted to make this video answering this question. So please hear me out. Point number 1. Today, we are in 2022, which is 13 years away from 2035. In the next 13 years, California will work on building up the power grid and charging infrastructure to accommodate all new EVs that people will switch to. Technology is advancing fast, and a lot can happen in 10 years. So there's no need to worry that when 2035 rolls around, our power grid won't be able to handle electric vehicles. Number 2, even when 2035 arrives, this mandate only bans new gas vehicle sales. There will still be second-hand gas cars on the market for sale. It's not like everyone has to dump their gas car on the driveway and go out and buy an EV come January 1st, 2035. There will still be plenty of gas cars on the road. Number 3, for those who have not had experience owning an EV, they think all 35 million cars in California will be charging all at the same time, which will bring down the grid. This is actually far from reality. First of all, if you own a single-family home, you will most likely charge your EV at night while you're sleeping when electricity usage is at the lowest across the board and the rate is at the cheapest, or what's called super off-peak rate. This is how most EV owners charge their cars in reality right now. Historically, when there is a heat wave and we are asked to conserve electricity use, it is typically between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Therefore, the majority of EVs will not be charging all at the same time, and especially between the hours when the heat is most intense. Secondly, even if you live in an urban area where you don't have a home charger, all 35 million cars will not be charging all at the same time. In the next decade, EV batteries will hold more and more charge as battery technology advances. Today, there are already EVs on the road that have over 500 miles of battery capacity, and this trend will only continue. Even with my old 2018 Tesla Model 3, my EPA rated range is 310 miles. So, unless I drive 300 miles every single day, I would not be charging my car on a daily basis. For the majority of drivers, they will most likely only need to charge once or twice a week for regular commute and running errands. The idea that all 35 million cars will be plugged in at the same time to bring down the grid simply won't happen. Thirdly, even if I have to charge during daytime, the Tesla supercharger and other DC fast chargers can charge my Model 3 from 20% to 90% in just 35 minutes with the fastest V3 supercharging running at the maximum rate of 250 kilowatts speed. So even now, when I charge, I don't hog the grid for hours. Furthermore, Tesla is now piloting the next generation of supercharger, or the V4 supercharger, which will charge even faster for bigger battery capacity cars coming in the near future. Point number 4. People often forget that gas stations are also powered by electricity. There have been plenty of times when there's a power outage and people cannot pump gas. I envision that in the future, all gas stations, which are powered by electricity, will be converted to EV charging stations. So if the current power grid can support gas stations with millions of cars pumping gas all at the same time, then in 13 years, it will be able to support EV chargers when the infrastructure has been upgraded. Based on these 4 points, I'd also like to address 3 popular pushbacks I'm seeing online regarding this mandate. But before I address these pushbacks, let me clarify that I do not wish to get into a political discussion because I am neither a Democrat nor a Republican. I am nonpartisan in my political stance. I will only share facts as someone who has been living in California for the last 34 years, as well as an EV owner for the last 4 years. The first pushback is EVs are being charged by dirty electricity, so it's actually still polluting the environment. Well, this has been the case in the last decade. However, started in 2017, a year before I switched to an EV, a new power sourcing organization called Clean Power Alliance started providing cleaner electricity to our local power companies here in Los Angeles area. As time goes on, I imagine this will be expanded to the entire California. Most likely, by 2035, all California electricity will be clean because of this initiative. The second pushback is that EV batteries are toxic and it is harmful to the environment. Yes, all batteries, including the ones in gas cars, are toxic to the environment. However, battery technology is still advancing. Scientists and researchers are working to find substrates that are much less harmful to the environment and will not involve unethical mining. For instance, the new Tesla 4680 batteries do not use nickel manganese cobalt cathode, but a high nickel cathode. These batteries also use silicon anode instead of a graphite one. Moreover, Tesla has a battery recycling process in place for the last few years that achieves almost 92% of reusable raw materials. The fact is, these batteries are built to last for a very long time. My Tesla battery has an 8-year or 120,000 miles warranty. So, unlike internal combustion engine cars that consume toxic gasoline on a regular basis, electric vehicle is actually a much more environmentally sustainable type of transportation if you look at these facts. The third pushback is that EVs will burn itself to the ground for no apparent reason. Yes, there have been a few incidents when a Tesla somehow started a fire, but I have yet witnessed one myself for the last 33 years that I've been driving. Instead, I have witnessed 3 gas cars caught on fire on the freeway in the last year alone. Data shows that between 2012 and 2021, there has been approximately 1 Tesla vehicle fire for every 210 million miles driven. By comparison, in the United States, during the same period, there has been 1 vehicle fire for every 19 million miles traveled. Keep in mind that this figure also includes when a car got into an accident, the fire was started by arson, and other factors unrelated to the car itself. As I mentioned several times before, technology is still advancing. Passenger safety is the top priority for any car makers. As time goes on, there will be safer and safer EVs built. Hopefully, by the time we get to 2035, safety engineers will figure out a design that will eliminate potential EV fires. I hope the information I've shared has addressed your concerns with EV charging, ownership, and safety, and that it has eased your fears about owning an EV. Thank you for being open-minded and hearing me out. I will see you in the next video, and God bless you.